Well, it is an historical level, but it's basically a psychological barrier. $50 back in 1980, you have to realize that those dollars have depreciated by 70 or 80%. And so $50 back then does not mean $50 today. It's much, much lower. Even really in the medium term, I think this is just a short stopping point, and it will get through that price just given inflation over time and given that they're still printing and they're still borrowing and they're still spending in Washington, D.C. So we have expectations that long run silver prices are headed higher, and there has been this divergence in trends where gold has done much better than silver. And of course, as we all know, the reason gold has done so much better in recent times is because central banks around the world have been adding to their gold reserves. But the U.S. is still in military conflict around the world. We have sanctions all over the place, particularly against Russia. But, President Trump has been using these tariffs as a punitive sanction-like tool. And even the trade war is a very disconcerting part of this militarization of foreign policy, and the tariffs are a big part of that. I mean, slapping tariffs on these other countries. We're definitely escalating war measures across the globe, really. We have a declining number of friendly relations and an escalating number of hostile relations with other countries. And so it's a very dark time actually out there. And that's one reason why, of course, people are investing in gold and silver. Well, it really is hard to predict, because when the Fed pumps money in and they buy up government debt and they expand the money supply and they lower interest rates, they really set off a cascade of negative effects throughout the economy. So it's hard to pick what's going to be the black swan, what's going to be the first thing to crater that's going to bring everything else down. So several of these possible black swans, but the one thing that we can follow the trail is the Fed increasing the money supply and what the Fed is actually doing to our economy. Now, eventually it all comes together in the CPI and, just general increases in prices. We get the general increases in prices, but the average person, middle class out there in America, they end up paying the higher prices of goods and services. And I see, one of the few ways to protect yourself against that is to invest in inflation hedges, such as gold and silver.